The Boston Celtics are playing like the best team in the NBA at this moment. They have a number 1 record in the Eastern Conference. They are top 3 in both offensive and defensive rating. 4 of their top 5 are in the net rating in the whole NBA, and 5 players are in their top net rating for the top 10. We'll explore how dominant the Celtics have been this season, and we'll be also looking at how Al Horford has been an impactful teammate, and it was an impactful piece with the Celtics having injuries in the game versus the Philadelphia 76ers last night, and also looking at an ex-Celtic getting injured. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, but before we get into any Boston Celtics news, I would like to say thank you to everyone that's hit that subscribe button. We're on our goal to get to 3,000 subscribers, and we can't do it without you guys. So if you guys want to make sure you guys stay included on everything Boston Celtics, hit that subscribe button, as we will be uploading almost daily for you guys, and we have post-game live streams. I want to say shout out to everyone who tuned into that last night after the 76ers win. We'll be having another one on tomorrow night after the Raptors in-season tournament. So if that interests you, make sure to join the live stream, ask any questions, and discuss the Boston Celtics. But let's get into the news at hand today. Grab a snack. This episode is a jam-packed one, and we're going to be getting into it right now. First, looking at another ex-Celtic getting injured. As you guys know, we covered in a video recently Robert Williams' injury and how the Celtics got away with that, as he got hurt for the Portland Trail Blazers and is getting surgery for this season. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery, but another ex-Celtic is now hurt. According to reports, Marcus Smart suffered a left ankle injury during the Grizzlies game against the Lakers that kept him from returning to the game. During the post-game press conference, Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins provided an injury update on Smart, saying Jenkins stated that Smart would be reevaluated this week on his injury, and it was also revealed that Smart was in a walking boot as he was exiting the arena. That is not good for Marcus Smart, and hopefully he can get back and be playing for the Grizzlies soon, as the Grizzlies have not been great this season and already have a bunch of injuries on their roster as well. It's obviously not a great sign that Smart was in a walking boot, so one could expect him to miss at least a few games. Recently, when Terrence Mann suffered an ankle sprain that put him in a walking boot, he missed 6 games. While the severity of Smart's injury hasn't been determined, fans should definitely expect him to miss more than 1 or 2 games. Smart's injury could have come at a worse time for the Grizzlies, as the team is already missing Ja Morant with suspensions, and Brandon Clark, Derrick Rose, and Steven Adams with injuries. Not only that, they have the worst record in the Western Conference with a 2-9 record. So it's not looking for the Memphis Grizzlies, and ultimately not looking great for Marcus Smart. If he's going to be out around 6 games, I would expect him that to be a 2 to 3 week injury. If he needs to recover, maybe a little bit longer if he's going to be out a couple extra games. But he should hopefully be back soon for the Grizzlies in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And if that's the case, we wish him a speedy recovery on Celtics Digest, as I'm a huge Marcus Smart fan and I want nothing but the best for our ex-Celtics players. But let's dive into some more news looking at the Celtics, talking about how Al Horford is a great teammate and stepped up huge last night in the victory versus the Philadelphia 76ers. We have some tweets here from Jay King where Jayson Tatum said that he sits next to Al Horford on the team plane and called Al Horford his favorite teammate. This is awesome to hear. Al Horford being the great veteran, doing what he needs to do to gel in with these stars. He's obviously had a great relationship with Jayson Tatum when Jayson Tatum was younger, when he had his first stint with the Boston Celtics, and then ultimately when he came back to the Boston Celtics. He's obviously had these great relationships still with Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and all these guys that he used to play with when he was in Boston. And it's still great to see that he's keeping up with these relationships. We also have another tweet from Jay King responding to Al Horford last night in the game, where Al Horford said there were some fans in the front row talking. And I just love that. To me, I just like that. It was good to hit that shot and turn around and look at them and smile. And that was referring to the big shot that Al Horford hit. And that is honestly hilarious, as well as Al Horford had an impactful game for the Boston Celtics last night. If you guys do not know, Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis were obviously out last night for the Celtics. And it was going to look like it was going to be a tough road for the Celtics, having Sam Hauser and Al Horford having to take big roles in the starting lineup and then needing the bench to step up. But the Celtics bench did their job, and Al Horford did tremendously well. If you look at Al Horford's stats right here, Al Horford played 29 minutes in the starting lineup, shooting 5 for 9 from the field and shooting 4 for 8 from the three-point range, which is great, as Al Horford's had some shooting slumps this regular season. It's great to see that he finally found his shot in the game where he was called on. He also had 8 rebounds for the Boston Celtics, with 7 of them being defensive rebounds, helping out the Boston Celtics on plays where he needs to, boxing out players and doing his stuff. 3 assists as well, 5 blocks in total with a plus 14, finishing with 14 points. The Celtics in total had 7 blocks as a team, with Al Horford finishing with 5. That is ultimately tremendous. He is definitely the Embiid stopper. We've known this for recent years, and he's done his job, and he successfully did it last night when there was no Kristaps Porzingis to help him out, and he was the main big man to be called upon. Obviously, Luke Kornet also stepped up in the backup role, but Al Horford definitely took his shining spot and definitely proved to the Celtics fans and to his team that he can still be an impactful piece when his number is called on. Yes, his role has been slightened a little bit this year, but he definitely can still take those impact roles and be an impactful piece for this team when he is needed. But let's look at some more Celtics news, talking about how the Celtics are so dominant this season. And as I mentioned in the introduction of the video, the Boston Celtics are the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. They have the best record at 9-2 after beating the Philadelphia 76ers last night. And we'll also be looking at some more stats with the Celtics as well. As you can see, this tweet from Sean Grande, where the Celtics with the NBA, they have the best record at 9-2. They are the #3 offense in the NBA. The #2 defense in the NBA. They have the best scoring margin and the best net rating, with 4 of the top 5 net ratings in the league. And here we have the NBA net rating leaders. Jayson Tatum leading the whole league at 23.4. Derrick White right behind him with 21.9. Kristaps Porzingis in 4th at 17.3. And Jrue Holiday at 16.1. And then if you look down all the way down there at number 9, you can see Payton Pritchard is up there as well with a 14.8. That is tremendous for the Boston Celtics, showing how dominant that we can be on both sides of the ball and how great this team can play together. Obviously, the core 4 being the top 5 leaders in net rating is tremendous and is a outrageous stat to see. It shows how great that this team can play basketball together and how great they play on both sides of the ball when they're all on the court. Let me know what you guys think of how impactful this Boston Celtics team has been this season. I personally think this is one of the best Boston Celtics teams that we have seen in recent years. Obviously, the last couple years they've had made the finals and made the Eastern Conference Finals, but this year I just think there's a little bit of more juice with the upgrades of Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday. We've seen great improvements on the bench as well from Sam Hauser and Al Horford stepping up in big games. Payton Pritchard has taken some roles as well, and even last night we even saw some great moments on defense from Banton with some nice energy, even though he wasn't making some great shots, and we saw Sfima Hailuk come in and hit some big threes as well. I think that this Celtics team is at one of their best that we've seen in a while, and I think that it is a true contender to win the NBA championship. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How great do you think the Celtics think are going to win an NBA championship on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest? That's what we're going to be talking about on this episode of Celtics Digest. If you guys are still at this point in the video and still aren't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we know you guys enjoy our content. We'll be providing another post-game live stream on Friday night, breaking down the in-season tournament game versus the Toronto Raptors, as the Boston Celtics will try to start off 2-0 versus the Toronto Raptors this season and 2-0 in the in-season tournament. If you would like to join and ask any questions or talk about the Boston Celtics, make sure to tap into that, as we'll be having fun there. Just want to say shout out to everyone on the Boston Celtics, and have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.